The sound of flesh hitting concrete echoed through the busy Lagos street as Chief Emmanuel Okafor's fist connected with the old woman's face. Blood trickled from her nose as she fell backward, her walking stick clattering across the dusty road. Her cloudy, unseeing eyes stared up at nothing while shocked onlookers gasped in horror. "You blind fool!" Chief Emmanuel shouted, his expensive suit wrinkled from the encounter. "Look where you're going next time." The irony of his words hung in the air like smoke. The old woman couldn't look anywhere. She was completely blind. But what happened in the next few minutes would change Chief Emmanuel's life forever. What he discovered about this seemingly helpless old woman would leave him speechless and turn his entire world upside down. But to understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning of this terrible day. 6 hours earlier, Chief Emmanuel Okafor woke up in his massive mansion in Banana Island, Lagos. He was the richest man in Nigeria, worth over 2 billion naira. His money came from oil, real estate, and businesses across West Africa. Everyone knew his name. Everyone feared his power. But Chief Emmanuel had a dark secret. Despite all his wealth, he was the cruelest man you could ever meet. He took pleasure in hurting people, especially those who couldn't fight back. The poor, the weak, the defenseless, these were his favorite targets. His wife, Sandra, had left him years ago. "You have no heart, Emmanuel," she had said before walking out. "Money has turned you into a monster." His children refused to speak to him. His workers hated him but stayed because they needed jobs. Chief Emmanuel didn't care. He believed that fear was better than love and money was better than family. That morning, like every morning, he started his day by making someone miserable. "James," he shouted at his driver, "you're 5 minutes late. I should fire you right now." James, a kind man with 3 children, bowed his head. "Sorry, sir. Traffic was very bad on 3rd Mainland Bridge." "I don't want to hear excuses." Chief Emmanuel slapped James across the face. "Drive faster today or you're finished." As they drove through Lagos, Chief Emmanuel's phone rang. It was his business manager with terrible news. "Chief, we have a big problem. The government is investigating our oil deals. They say we cheated them of 50 million naira in taxes." Chief Emmanuel's blood boiled. "How dare they? Don't they know who I am? I own half the politicians in this country." "Sir, it's different this time. They have evidence. Real evidence. If this gets out, you could lose everything." Chief Emmanuel hung up the phone, his hands shaking with rage. How could this happen to him? He was untouchable. He was too powerful to fall. "James, take me to Senator Adebayo's house. Now." But when they arrived at the senator's mansion, the gateman had shocking news. "Chief Emmanuel, Senator Adebayo said he cannot see you today. He said he doesn't know you." Chief Emmanuel couldn't believe it. Senator Adebayo owed him everything. Chief Emmanuel had paid for his election campaign, bought him a house, even sent his children to school abroad. Now, when Chief Emmanuel needed help, the senator was pretending they were strangers. One by one, Chief Emmanuel called all his political friends. The governor, the ministers, the judges, everyone he had bought and paid for over the years. But they all gave him the same answer: "We don't know you. We can't help you." By noon, Chief Emmanuel realized the horrible truth. When you're rich and powerful, everyone pretends to be your friend. But when trouble comes, you stand alone. His anger grew like a fire inside him. He needed to hurt someone. He needed to make someone else feel as powerless as he felt right now. "Take me to Victoria Island Market," he told James. "I need some fresh air." But Chief Emmanuel wasn't looking for fresh air. He was looking for someone weak to hurt. Someone who couldn't fight back. Someone who would make him feel powerful again. The market was crowded with people buying and selling. Rich and poor mixed together in the afternoon heat. Chief Emmanuel walked through the crowd, his expensive shoes clicking on the concrete, looking for a victim. That's when he saw her. An old woman sat by the roadside, a small bowl in front of her with a few coins. She wore old, torn clothes and dark sunglasses that couldn't hide the cloudy whiteness of her blind eyes. Her walking stick lay beside her on the ground. She was perfect. Blind, helpless, defenseless. No one would care if something happened to her. Chief Emmanuel felt his anger focus like a laser beam. This woman represented everyone he hated: the poor, the weak, the useless people who contributed nothing to society. He walked up to her, his shadow falling across her face. "Move from here, old woman," he said coldly. The blind woman tilted her head up toward his voice. "Please, sir. I'm not bothering anyone. I just need a little help to buy food." "I said move." Chief Emmanuel kicked her small bowl, sending the coins flying across the street. The old woman felt around frantically for her money. "Please, sir. That was all I had." Other people in the market started to notice, but no one dared to interfere. Chief Emmanuel was too powerful, too dangerous. "You people are like rats," Chief Emmanuel said, his voice getting louder. "Dirty, useless rats. You contribute nothing to this country." The blind woman struggled to stand up, reaching for her walking stick. But Chief Emmanuel was faster. He grabbed the stick and threw it across the street. "Please," the old woman begged, now standing but wobbling without her support. "I just want to go home." But Chief Emmanuel wasn't finished. Years of anger, hours of humiliation, and a lifetime of cruelty all came together in this moment. He raised his fist, and that's when it happened. The moment that would change everything. The moment that would reveal who this helpless old woman really was. But first, his fist connected with her face, sending her crashing to the ground as blood poured from her nose. What Chief Emmanuel didn't know was that someone in the crowd was recording everything on their phone. What he didn't know was that this blind old woman had a secret that would destroy him completely. And what he definitely didn't know was that in exactly 3 minutes, his entire world would come crashing down around him. The blind old woman lay on the ground, blood streaming from her nose, but she didn't cry. She didn't beg. Instead, she did something that made Chief Emmanuel's blood run cold. She smiled. "Thank you, Emmanuel," she said quietly, wiping blood from her face. "I've been waiting 30 years for you to show everyone who you really are." Chief Emmanuel froze. How did this beggar know his name? And why was she thanking him? Before he could ask, a young man pushed through the crowd, his phone still recording. Did everyone see that? The great Chief Emmanuel Okafor just beat up a blind old woman. "Stop recording." Chief Emmanuel lunged for the phone, but the young man was too quick. "Too late, Chief. It's already live on Instagram. 10,000 people are watching right now." Chief Emmanuel's hands shook as he realized what was happening. In today's world, one video could destroy a lifetime of power. But this was worse than he thought. The blind woman slowly stood up, refusing help from concerned onlookers. She reached into her torn bag and pulled out something that made Chief Emmanuel's world stop spinning. A photograph. Old and faded, but he recognized it immediately. It was a picture of him as a young man, standing next to a beautiful young woman in a wedding dress. Both of them were smiling, looking deeply in love. "Do you remember this day, Emmanuel?" the old woman asked, holding up the photo. "Do you remember what you promised me?" Chief Emmanuel staggered backward as if he'd been struck by lightning. The voice. Even aged and weathered, he knew that voice. It was impossible, but... "Grace," he whispered. The crowd fell silent, sensing something huge was about to happen. The old woman removed her dark sunglasses, revealing her cloudy, blind eyes. "Yes, Emmanuel. It's me. Your wife. Your first wife. The one you threw away like garbage 30 years ago." Gasps rippled through the crowd. People started recording with their phones, sensing they were witnessing something historic. Chief Emmanuel's mind raced back 3 decades. Grace had been his childhood sweetheart, the daughter of a poor farmer. They had married young when he was just starting his business. She had worked 3 jobs to support him while he built his empire. She had believed in him when no one else would. But when his business began to succeed, when richer, more suitable women started showing interest, Emmanuel had made a choice that haunted him. He divorced Grace, claiming she was holding him back. He married Sandra, a banker's daughter with connections that helped him grow even richer. "You disappeared," he stammered. "After the divorce, no one knew where you went." Grace nodded sadly. I was pregnant, Emmanuel, with your child. But you didn't care. You were too busy with your new wife to notice. The crowd pressed closer, hanging on every word. The young man's live stream now had 50,000 viewers and climbing. I raised our daughter alone, Grace continued. I worked as a cleaner, a cook, anything to survive. And when our daughter grew up, do you know what she became? Chief Emmanuel couldn't speak. His throat felt like it was closing. She became a lawyer, then a prosecutor. And now, Grace's smile was sad but victorious. She's the head of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the same EFCC that's investigating your oil deals. The world tilted sideways for Chief Emmanuel. The government investigation, the evidence, the reason all his political friends were abandoning him. It all made sense now. Meet your daughter, Emmanuel. A black SUV pulled up to the crowd. Out stepped a woman in her late 20s, wearing a sharp business suit and carrying an official briefcase. She was beautiful, with Grace's kind eyes but Emmanuel's determined jaw. Hello, Father, she said coldly. My name is Prosecutor Mercy Okafor, and you're under arrest. Chief Emmanuel's legs gave out. He fell to his knees on the same spot where Grace's blood still stained the concrete. This was all planned, he gasped. Grace knelt down beside him, her blind eyes somehow seeing straight into his soul. No, Emmanuel. I've been living on these streets for 5 years, ever since I lost my sight to diabetes. I had no money for treatment, no family to help me. I became the beggar you just beat up. She paused, letting that sink in. But Mercy has been looking for me for months. She hired detectives, searched everywhere. She found me yesterday. Grace held up a small device that had been hidden in her torn clothes. This morning she gave me this recording device and begged me to stay away from you. She said it was too dangerous. Chief Emmanuel stared at the device, understanding flooding over him. But I told her the truth, Grace continued. I said that after 30 years I needed to see what kind of man you had become. I needed to know if there was any goodness left in the boy I once loved. Tears streamed down Chief Emmanuel's face as the full weight of his actions hit him. The recording device was just for my protection, Grace said. But you chose to attack me. You chose to show the world your true heart. Mercy stepped forward, handcuffs gleaming in the sunlight. Emmanuel Okafor, you're under arrest for assault, tax evasion, money laundering, and corruption. You have the right to remain silent. But Chief Emmanuel wasn't silent. For the first time in 30 years, words poured out of him like water from a broken dam. Grace, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. I threw away the only real love I ever had for money that means nothing now. I became a monster when I could have been a father. I chose power over family, and now I have neither. Grace's blind eyes filled with tears, but her voice remained steady. I forgave you long ago, Emmanuel. Not for your sake, but for mine. Hatred would have made me as bitter as you became. As Mercy led him toward the police car, Chief Emmanuel turned back one last time. What will happen to my money? My businesses? Grace stood up with the help of kind strangers, her dignity intact despite everything. Mercy has been building cases against all your illegal activities. Your stolen money will be returned to the Nigerian people you robbed. Your companies will be sold, and the money will go to hospitals, schools, and programs for the blind and disabled. She paused, then added the words that truly left him speechless. And I will use my share to build a home for abandoned elderly people. So no one will ever have to beg on the streets like I did. It will be called the Emmanuel Okafor Center for Forgotten Elders. Chief Emmanuel stopped walking. You're naming it after me? After everything I did to you? Grace's smile was the same one he remembered from their wedding day, full of love and forgiveness he didn't deserve. Because the boy I married 30 years ago had a good heart. Maybe in prison you'll find that boy again. Maybe you'll remember what it means to be human. As the police car drove away, carrying Nigeria's most powerful man to a jail cell, The crowd slowly dispersed. The video had gone viral, 10 million views and climbing. By evening it would be international news. But Grace remained on the street corner where it all happened, not as a beggar anymore, but as a symbol of something powerful. The people who had watched the entire drama unfold came forward with donations, not coins in a bowl, but real help. Job offers for when her eyes were treated, a place to stay, medical care, and most importantly, respect. James, Chief Emmanuel's driver, approached her hesitantly. "Ma, I'm sorry I never helped you before. My boss, he made us all afraid." Grace took his hand gently. Fear makes people do terrible things. But today everyone chose to be brave. Today everyone chose to care. And in that moment, as the sun set over Lagos, Grace proved that sometimes the most powerful force in the world isn't money or anger or revenge. Sometimes it's simply choosing to forgive. The beggar who was beaten became the woman who saved a nation's stolen money. The billionaire who had everything lost it all in a single moment of cruelty. And the daughter who never knew her father became the prosecutor who brought him to justice. In the end, Chief Emmanuel got exactly what the title promised. He was left completely speechless. But Grace? She found her voice again. What are your thoughts on this story? Leave your comments, likes and share to your family and friends to learn from this.